What's up, Juventini? Alberto here. I got all your Juventus news all right, and the talk today surrounds the midfield. We have the list of midfielders Juventus is kicking the tires on, so to speak, and are we actually flipping from Samardzic to Jordan Henderson? We'll get into the details there, and what I actually think is really going down at Juventus this mercato, and then, of course, rumors surrounding Philip Kostic, Moise Kean, with Moise Kean maybe having an obligation to purchase at the end of a 6-month loan there, all right? We'll take a look at that, as well as health status of two key guys, one of them being your December MVP of the month before our match against Sassuolo on Tuesday. All right, so like the video, subscribe to the channel. This is the AJC. Let's rock. We're going to kick things off with the rumors surrounding Philip Kostic. Apparently, Al Hilal out of Saudi Arabia is very, very interested in bringing the player in this window. However, on a loan. Oh my God, get the hell out of here. You guys are throwing money around left, right, and center on all sorts of players, all right? One of them, apparently, Juve's target now in the midfield, which we will get to in a bit. But now you want a loan? Absolutely not. You can pay up. At that case, I would rather just keep Kostic around, as he could still be serviceable, even if we are going to be moving more so towards Illing Jr. or even Cambiaso ahead of him. It still wouldn't matter. He would give us coverage and could still serve his purpose down the second half of the season, all right? Alone, that's laughable. Absolutely not. Moise Kean, apparently Stade Rennais out of the French league is interested in bringing him in alone, and there is a potential for an obligation to purchase. However, the big hurdle, all right, is the salary, as they want assistance with that salary on the loan portion this next 6 months. Juventus has made it clear they want nothing to do with cooperating on his salary for the remainder of the loan. So the second half of the season, if they send him out, they want nothing to contribute into his salary. That right now is the hurdle, but I would much rather prefer, if we send him out, send him to the French league, all right? And no more assistance for clubs in Serie A. That's how I feel anyways, all right? But Moise Kean will have to continue to watch what surrounds him. As far as Kostic goes, I really, really doubt he's going to be on the move, but more on that in a bit when we start talking about the midfield, all right? Now, two key guys out. One of them is your December MVP, and that is the Cavallo Pazzo, all right, himself. Adrien Rabiot is in doubt for the game on Tuesday. We have to wait to see what's there, and then Max will have to act. But Chiesa in doubt for that game as well. Still rumblings that he's going to be available from the bench, all right? In the end, I actually wouldn't be surprised to see both Rabiot in the lineup and Chiesa coming off the bench, but we'll have to wait and see. Right now, there are doubts concerning both those players, all right? Now, we got to get to the big rumors today, and that is out of the midfield, all right? So apparently, the players Juventus is interested in looking at in the midfield, it's a big list. You have Saul as one of those midfielders Juventus is apparently interested in. You have Henderson from Atalanta, but apparently he will not be an option to even think about until summer. But Koopmeiners also remains, and apparently he's the one being listed as extremely high on Giuntoli's list, but we know somewhere around 35-40 million euros, and that's definitely something that's going to be taken on in the summer. Now you get to Samardzic. What's going on with Samardzic? So apparently it's being reported that Juventus has reached terms with Samardzic and his father. All right, but with Udinese, not so much. Udinese is probably going to be a little bit fired up because Juve went this route, went through the father, reached terms. They had 20 million plus some bonus offered up from Napoli, all right? But Napoli had nothing with the player and, more importantly, his father, which was the reason things broke down with Inter. So it's very, very interesting here. Smart move by Giuntoli to go through the player, the father, get the player's will, which apparently Juventus has right now. But Udinese probably wants the money up front, so Samardzic may end up going down as a summer move. We have to wait and see if Udinese is going to open up to anything, but this gives me a key sign about what's going to go down, and apparently it involves Jordan Henderson, as talks have been held and are being held about the possibility of him joining Juventus. Juventus wants a 6-month loan. The player wants an 18-month loan, a year and a half loan, as he wants to return to Europe. Now, the big thing here, obviously, is the salary. Saudi Arabia doesn't want to partake in helping with this salary. It's set to be somewhere around 19 million over that term. There's absolutely no way Juventus will do that. All right, everybody. So there's no way we're taking on that massive salary over that term. If it's a loan, Juventus would probably be looking at a dry loan. So this is what I think when we gather all these situations and scenarios, what's going down. Juve is not going to run themselves thin. They're not going to commit to something they don't want to. An 18-month loan for Henderson, especially picking up that salary, I cannot see it any way, shape, or form. All right. What I think they're doing is kicking the tires to try and see if there's any midfielder they can pick up for the second half of the season to come in and help. All right. So it's not so much the profile anymore of Samardzic versus a profile like Henderson. I think at bare minimum, they want some support and they want some coverage, but they're not going to be committing anything that's going to affect them financially like that. They're looking for a base loan for 6 months. Okay. Samardzic, I believe they will bring him in this window if Udinese opens up to taking the payment at the end in the summer in full. We were hearing rumblings that Juventus would offer up some financial gain for them during the loan spell. Maybe throw in 5 million euros, whatnot, before buying outright in the summer. That's what they're probably trying to do. That's probably their top priority. However, Udinese may not accept that. They might be upset because of how Juventus acted in going around them, circumnavigating them to get the players' will, which broke down the Napoli deal, which would have seen them get paid now. So that's what I think is going on. Juve, as far as committing to something we don't really want to see for that long term, that money, I would have no concerns about it, everybody. I also think this, when it comes to Juventus right now, currently, they don't have to act. I think they are perfectly fine staying put. And if nothing happens, I think they're okay with that. And that gives Giuntoli the leverage to be able to make these decisions without haste, without any types of rush, urgency, not being antsy, and just take his time, be calm, and be calculated, all right? So I have no fear. If a loan comes in for second half of this season, even if it's Henderson, I would expect zero commitment beyond from Juve's part. However, if it's one of their true targets that they can pull in, I would expect a commitment. Something like Samardzic, all right? So again, I'm not too worried about it. And maybe, just maybe, what I'm thinking is these guys that Juve would have to sell in order to make these moves now, like even Samardzic, throw that money up front, we would have to sell first. And I don't think Juventus wants to sell guys like Kostic, maybe even Illing Jr. I don't think they want to sell them right now because they can serve us useful and still have a purpose down the stretch in the second half of the season. So you have both of these factors. These teams are going to want some money now, and Juve might have to sell, but maybe right now isn't the time to move these other players. So again, if somebody comes in, I expect no commitment for long-term from Juventus. But I think this is more so what's going on. I don't think Juve's in a rush to sell any of these guys right now. And we might just have to wait to the summer, which I'm fine with. That's my thoughts. That's your news break to today. I can't wait to hear what you all think. If you guys agree with me that that's what's going on and that's the case, or how you feel about Juve in this mercato. Anyways, let me know what you think about the latest rumors and what you think's going to happen in the comment section. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and tomorrow morning we're going to have a fun, in general, Juve discussion live at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Time. Hope to see you all there. As always, fino alla fine, forza Juventus. Ciao tutti.